Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me while we pot up my spring propagations. So I do kind of have a part one to this video where we took all the propagations, did a little snippy to a bunch of my plants. Now, some of these are for a trade, some of these are to fill out some of my existing plants, like this one right here, my Monstera adansonii. We're going to be potting into a variety of mediums as well. It always feels so good to get some repots done, so I'm really excited about all of these. I have coffee as my beverage of the day. Going to enjoy that. And where are we even going to start? Maybe I'll start with the soil plants first, and then we'll do Semihydro after that. Okay, so let's just start with the adansonii because this one's gonna be, well, they're all honestly pretty straightforward. So for this one, this is my main plant, which has been living in this pot inside of the Wally Grow planter. But today we're going to be potting it directly into the Wally Grow, and we're going to be adding in the cuttings that we took in the last video. So I'm really excited to be filling this plant out. Where we chopped, so we chopped right here, and it already has shot out or continued growing the vine, and I'm getting some really nice sized leaves. Like, look at that. And we already have another one coming out as well. Like, this thing is growing so fast now. This vine is getting quite long, new growth on both sides, and we have a ton of growth points, which I was showing in one of my last videos. So we could have even more vines, which is exciting. Propagations did really well. Look at these juicy roots. Like, those look amazing. Oh my gosh, Monstera roots are so satisfying. They look extremely healthy. Is this only one? Oh my gosh, I thought we took 2 cuttings. We only took 1. Okay, well, whatever, that's fine. We do have new growth already happening on this cutting as well. So I'm just gonna pop that back into the jar for now, and we're gonna get this all situated. So it's currently potted into mollies, and I'm going to be continuing with that and filling this planter up with mollies as well, which is probably, oh my gosh, this is my last bag. I need to order more. I think I'm just gonna pour it in because it's gonna take a lot. Okay, so I've got a layer on the bottom. Now let's, oh my gosh, let's take this out of here and see what the roots look like. I'm expecting them to look really good because I've had 0 issues with this plant since I actually started caring for it properly. Imagine. I was struggling with this. Well, it looked really amazing, and then I started neglecting it and it was struggling, and I just couldn't get it to thrive again. But then I started really dedicating myself to taking care of this plant, and now it's growing out again. So that is the fruits of my labor. Okay, I want to be able to reuse this mix, so I don't want to lose it all. Let's do this over the pot. All the loose bits on the top can fall into there. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this plant is gonna be so happy to be repotted. It was needing water fairly often because you can see how many roots were in that pot. They look awesome. So which way does it face? This way maybe? Or does it go the other way? I think I did have it facing the other way maybe. Let's try that. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Nope, that's definitely backwards now. Okay. Stunning. Okay, so now I'm just going to plop this in. Where am I gonna put it? Maybe on this side because it's a little bit shorter, or I don't know, I've got all these potential growth points coming out here, so I think I'll put it on this side just in case we get more vines on that other side. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then I've just got to fill this all up. Okay, I think that is pretty full. Maybe I'll do a little bit more on this side. And the last thing, well, the last thing I'm gonna do is water this through, but second last thing I'm gonna do is just add the greening pins back in. These have just been holding down some of the vines so that they're in contact with the soil, and they will hopefully put out more roots. So one right there. Oh, it doesn't really want to stay. Yeah, sometimes with this chunky potting mix, things don't really want to stay pinned down, but I mean, I can try. Okay, so there it is. Now the one thing that I need to stay on top of while the cutting is transitioning from water to being potted in a chunky mix is watering. I don't want this to be getting too bone dry or else the root system could be damaged. So to make this transition as seamless as possible, I'm gonna try to stay really on top of the watering, and I don't worry too much about overwatering with mollies because it's so chunky, especially with all of the aeration that the Wally Grow planters get. You can see all of those air holes in the front there. Yeah, so I'm gonna go water this one through. Okay, so next I'm gonna pot up this little Begonia chlorosticta. This is a really pretty begonia. It needs quite high humidity. Honestly, it probably wants higher humidity than what I'm currently giving it, but I try to counter that by just staying really on top of watering. Obviously, this one is rooting in water, so it has been getting adequate moisture, which is great. Is there two? Oh yeah, there's two little cuttings here. Really good root systems on these guys, and we have new leaves coming out on both. So I'm gonna be potting these into a rainforest mix or rain mix. This is like a begonia mix that is gonna work really well for these guys. So I need to figure out what pot I'm gonna be using. That's a little small. Maybe I should do this taller one. Or this little, what is this, 4-inch pot? That actually might work well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna be sending this one off for a trade. I do still have my mother plant. It is only like a couple of leaves though. I have a hard time staying on top of the watering. I should like revamp that plant soon. I would like to try to get it thriving a little bit better. Okay. Kind of funky, but that's okay. Got it situated. Let's try to cover these roots up. This is a really nice potting mix. The perlite and vermiculite are really fine, but it still feels nice and light and fluffy. Okay, hopefully this one is going to do okay. Honestly, I wonder if I have like a small stake I could put in here, because that would be helpful. I have a skewer, which might be too thin to get a clip to attach, but let's try it. Oh, it actually works. Oh my gosh, how cutie. Okay, perfect. So there's this one. I'm gonna water this through and then I'm gonna pop it right back into the cabinet because I'm sure that it doesn't appreciate the lower humidity out here. Our room humidity has actually been really high here lately. It's 61% right now, so that's pretty good. And we run a dehumidifier downstairs, but it still stays nice and humid up here. Okay, let's do this guy next. This is my Hoya paradisea. Ooh, I'm gonna give this a rinse at the sink because some of the leaves have some algae, if you look right there. So I'm just gonna give him a little clean. That's just from being in the window. We have some little roots there. So I'm probably just gonna use this small pot for this guy. I'm back to mollies because I find that my Hoya really enjoy mollies even though they're not aeroids. Is that gonna work? I think so. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be so cute. The mother plant is looking so chaotic. Maybe I'll grab it and show it to you. But honestly, it makes me kind of want to chop it up and start over because this one looks so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with that. How adorable. I love that. Okay, I think that one's gonna be happy in here. Okay, this is my mother plant and I don't know. I tried to trellis it, but it's going so funky. Like there's crazy vines everywhere. Maybe I should fix it up while I have it down. Yeah, I don't know. And the leaves aren't looking that good. Like I just feel like I haven't really figured out what this plant wants from me. It does just live on the Vitro shelf. Does it need to go in a cabinet? I don't know. Let me know if you grow this one and you've had success with it. Let me know what conditions you grow in. You can see the sun's dressing because this is growing like under the grow light. I feel like trellising Hoya is something that I just have never really mastered. Like I'm always kind of fighting for my life to get them to look good. Like, okay. It looks so chaotic. Or should I take it off a trellis and let it trail? But I feel like that was also chaotic. I don't know. Please inform. I was really obsessed with this Hoya for a while, but now I'm just not happy with how it's been looking. So, what do you think I should do? Oh my gosh, I just realized I totally forgot to grab a bunch of other plants that I have to pot up. A bunch of other cuttings that we took. I was setting up for this video and I was like, I feel like I had way more cuttings. But I totally forgot about these ones that have been sitting on my calyx shelf. Okay, maybe, well, let's tackle one more thing before I get to those ones. This Philodendron whip away cutting, it did not take. And I kept waiting and waiting. I don't know what went wrong. I've never tried to propagate this plant before, so I don't know if it's tricky or not, but it obviously has not been happy. So I think I'm gonna try to save this as a wet stick. So I'm just gonna remove the dead leaves. Yeah, all of these kind of rotting parts I'm gonna remove. Oh, that reminds me of even more cuttings that I have in my propagation box. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. I knew I had more cuttings. Oh, the stem's actually not rotted. I might try this in perlite. I might do that. But I also, I don't know if I'm gonna take a second cutting or if I'm going to, yeah, I'll take a second cutting, I think. Perlite is always what I bust out when I'm not having success with water propagation. I don't know what it is. It just magically works for me very often. So I'm just gonna fill up this cup with perlite. It does have some holes in the bottom, so I'm gonna use something as a reservoir. Okay, just stick the cutting in. Oops, and don't pull it out again like that. So will this fit in here? I think so. I'm gonna use this as the water reservoir. Okay, this is my janky setup. I have my perlite cup, has some holes in the bottom, and I just want a small layer of water to stay filling up the perlite cup so that it constantly has water that it can wick up. And I think I'm gonna stick this in a cabinet to see if that will help with rooting speed here. So we'll see what happens with that. And I guess I'm gonna take another cutting. because who knows what's gonna happen. Where is my shears? Let's do down here. Oh. Okay, gonna remove a couple leaves, and then should I try water again? I kind of want to try water again, just to see if that cutting was just stubborn, or does this plant not do well with water propagation. Need to test out my theories here. I tried to put this in a glass of water and it was just flopping around because this is such a small stem with these big leaves coming off of it. So I have this propagation box available, and I think I'm just going to pop some perlite in there and then stick that guy in. I get a lot of questions on links for these boxes. I got these from Amazon like years ago now at this point, and the listing that I bought like for these exact ones, it says unavailable, or at least it does like every time I check. But if you just look up like hinged clear container, then you should find something really similar, or I'm sure that there's a lot of stores that sell something like this. But yeah, I don't link them because I just don't have the exact link anymore. And these are the only ones that I've tried out, so I don't want to link like something that I haven't tried yet. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna it looks so crazy, like it has like weird wings or something. Okay, girl. Well, it's gonna be like that. I'm gonna go fill this up at the sink, and then I'm gonna put it under a grow light. Okay, well. Okay, I ended up removing another leaf, so now it fits in there better. I think that I might use this pot from my adansonii for my Cebu blue. Yeah, because I have a lot of cuttings here. Probably too many, to be honest, but am I gonna pot them all up anyways? Yep, I think that I am. Actually, you know what? I'm very tempted to do one climbing again, even though I need another moss pole, like I need a hole in the head. But I really miss when I had a Cebu blue climbing. Like, they just are so amazing. I would love to have one in both forms. So maybe I'll save a cutting for that. This guy looks very nice. Nice strong root system and nice leaves. Just a short little vine that'll be perfect to stick on a moss pole. So I'm gonna leave that one out. And then I think I'm gonna do the rest in this pot. I wonder if this would fit in here. Oh no, it looks too big. I might have to run down and check my pot situation again, because I feel like I am running low on options. But I think I'm just gonna go for it and do these guys in this black pot. I can always move them later if I want them in a different clear pot. Oh my gosh, I honestly don't know if I'm gonna have enough. Well, yeah, I think I will. Okay, before I fill this, let me just go run downstairs, because there might be better pots for these plants, because I do also have Mycans and Jasenia pothos that I want to pot up as well. Okay, I brought up like a million different pots because I was so indecisive. I grabbed self-watering because I was, you know, thinking through maybe I would do leca. But I think what I have decided on is these clear pots. And I'm gonna do the same pot for all three of these trailers. And hopefully I have enough mollies here, because I literally, it doesn't look like it's gonna be enough. And I don't have any other potting mix on hand right now. So let's just see how far we get here. Oh, I want to keep this one in water while it's just chilling out here as well. Yeah, it's so funny how I'm just like going back to my roots, back to basics with just getting re-obsessed with these kind of common trailing plants. Those were always my favorite at the beginning of my houseplant journey, so I've just really been craving like that type of easy care, jungle vibe, easy to style kind of plant. This one is honestly like the same situation as my adansonii. Like, it used to look so good, and then somewhere along the way I just started neglecting it, and now I'm having a hard time recovering it back to its former glory. But hopefully it will get there soon. Okay, I think that's pretty good for this one. I wonder if this pot will fit in here. Oh my gosh, it like almost does, but not quite. I might have cover pots downstairs for these as well. We'll have to see, but anyways, there's Cebu Blue. Hopefully it'll be looking nice and lush by the end of the growing season. There's definitely not enough soil left. These guys are ready to be potted, but unless I want to do Semihydro, which I don't really want to do for these ones, so I might hold off on the Jasenia pothos and the Mycans. Yeah, like I literally don't even have a bag of soil to mix my own, so I guess those ones are gonna be staying in water a little bit longer, and I'm gonna use what's left of my mollies to pot up this Hoya serpens cutting, rooting in here. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, there's a couple of them. 1, 2, they're both rooted, which is so nice. The wet sticks that I have in here now are my variegated Philodendron silver sword. I finally ended up chopping that plant up. Oop. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay, they'll be fine. I had been air layering it for so long. I finally decided to take the air layering moss off, and there was like no roots, which has never happened to me before. Like, I've always had success with air layering, but there was like maybe a couple of roots that weren't even very good that came from that. So that was a bit of a fail, and I ended up just taking a bunch of wet stick cuttings. Okay, Hoya serpens, I'm definitely just gonna use this little, what is this, like a 3-inch probably? Yeah, 3-inch pot. And this one, it actually has really good roots from multiple nodes. So what I'm gonna do, let me take some of this out. I am just going to lay it on the top and try to cover as many roots as possible with soil. Okay, kind of hard to see it in there, but that guy is all potted up. I'm gonna water this through and then stick him in a cabinet. Okay, I think that was my last potting mix / soil repot, and now I have this pot full of leca. It's all ready to go, and I am going to be popping these Begonia white ice cuttings into here. I took these cuttings a few weeks ago, and I decided that I wanted to try to restart my Begonia, what is that called? White ice in Semihydro, because it is just so thirsty. I have it in soil, the mother plant right now, and I want to get one established in Semihydro and then replace the mother plant with this one, because I just cannot keep up with watering this thing in soil. So I think that this is going to be a lot better, and I'm literally just going to try to stick these in So there we go. There's one. I have 4 cuttings here. I think they all rooted up. Yeah. There's 2. There we go. And 3. I literally just like stick my finger in and try to make a path for it to follow so that I'm not breaking all of the roots off. Okay, last one. And then I'm just gonna top off with a little bit more leca because I can see some spots that are showing some roots. Okay, I think that that is pretty good. So that's it for this one. I'm just gonna top it up with some water, but I'm expecting this plant to do a lot better getting like consistent moisture now. And then lastly, I think we are going to be potting up Hoya linearis. This is gonna be my 3rd linearis in this house, which is crazy, but it is one of my top favorite plants. So I just feel like I need it everywhere. It's just like the perfect decor kind of plant. Like it just looks so good. It's so elegant and beautiful. So I am going to be doing this one in leca as well. It's going to be my first time growing this plant in Semihydro, so I'm pretty excited to give that a go. I have this cute little cube planter that I got from Crystal Star Nursery years ago now. I actually really like these self-watering planters. They've been super reliable for me, and I like that you can just grab the net pot out super easily. The whole thing comes apart nicely. And yeah, I've just really enjoyed these. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. I'm assuming that they still do. They're really great. I have a black one as well. Okay, I've got my leca in there, so let's pop these. How many cuttings do I have? 1. 2. What is going on here? 3, 4. Wait, this one is not gonna work. There's so many roots that it's like I'm getting roots confused with leaves because the leaves are so thin as well. Okay, I think this is 2 more. Hello? You stuck together? Yeah, I'll use both of these, I think. If you have a situation like this where it's rooted all the way up the stem, like I have 3 nodes with roots, if I just bury these 2, then it's fine. These will just dry off and fall off. So you don't need to make sure that like every single root set is buried. Just don't worry about it if you don't get them all. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. A little funky, but that's okay. I'm so curious to see how this does in leca. I don't even know where I'm gonna put this. I think on the Visto shelf, because oh, I would just love the look of that. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go rinse this through, fill it up with some water, and then find a spot for it. Okay, I think that that's it. Like I said, I'm gonna hold off on these ones. I might actually just pick up a bag of Pro Mix HP this week, and then I still have Orchid Bark and Perlite, so I can make my own mix, and I might do that for those ones. So that's gonna be the plan. This climbing Cebu Blue I'm gonna do off camera, so y'all will see this in the walkthrough update. I would say that that was a fairly successful repot session. I feel really good about everything that we got done today. So thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that your plant collection has been doing well this spring and that you haven't been too overwhelmed by plant chores. I know that sometimes there can be such an adjustment that needs to be made once temperatures start warming up and the daylight gets longer. You need to be a little bit more on top of watering and stuff like that, and I've definitely been feeling that lately. But overall, I feel like everyone's doing really well, which is always so nice. So always wishing the same vibes for you. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.